back to the Daily Grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back pickle biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
TJ Dillashaw recently spoke with TMZ Sports, and I'm sure that he hasn't heard Demetrious Johnson's Q&A, because whenever I looked for that Q&A audio, I only found it one place and none of the big sites had it. So I wouldn't be surprised if TJ Dillashaw had not heard Demetrious Johnson's latest. Sergio's the #1 contender, and we'll see what happens. And Demetrious Johnson really not sounding in a rush for the Demetrious Johnson versus TJ Dillashaw super fight. Well, anyways, TJ Dillashaw, he's already been under the impression that Demetrious Johnson didn't want any smoke. I mean, before he fought Cody Garbrandt and he was talking about moving down and taking DJ's belt, whenever who pulled out of the fight with somebody pulled out, oh yeah, Cody Garbrandt got injured, so whenever they were originally scheduled to fight, he was going to move down and fight Demetrious Johnson at 125 pounds. He started calling him Mighty Rat and all this type of stuff. You know, TJ Dillashaw was already trying to sell the fight, ready to move down at a lower division, even if the weight cut, you know, and that's one of the things that helps Demetrious Johnson that was actually pointed out in the Q&A. You know, if TJ Dillashaw goes down to 125 pounds, you got to think that that weight cut might affect him, which would, you know, help Demetrious Johnson's odds in the fight, increase his odds in the fight. So for Demetrious Johnson still to be not really wanting the fight, it's something else. I mean, we'll see how that plays out, but still, this is what TJ Dillashaw had to say. Don't be scared, man. Let's get this done. This is the fight that makes sense for you and me. This is the fight fans want to see. This is the fight I want to see. I'm not sure if you want to see it, but man up and let's do it. He's saying don't be scared and man up. This is not the first time Demetrious Johnson has been called out by TJ Dillashaw. As a matter of fact, any time that Demetrious Johnson is asked questions, if any time TJ Dillashaw, the first, if not the first question, definitely the second question is going to be, what's up with the super fight? Either one of them. Hey, TJ Dillashaw, what's up with the DJ fight? Hey, Demetrious Johnson, hey, what's up with the TJ fight? That's all it is. It's not, hey, Demetrious, are you looking forward to, you know, getting another title defense? You already broke the record. I mean, you can't even say that anymore. The whole last fight was, I'm looking forward to breaking Anderson Silva's record. Now what is it? I'm looking forward to defending my title for the 15th time or the 12th time or the 13th time or the 20th time, however many times we get it. The problem is that Demetrious' biggest criticism, and not, you know, and it's hard as Demetrious fans, you know, I'm a guy that does believe Demetrious Johnson is a little underrated, because I think the whole flyweight division is a little underrated. You know, the Joseph Benavidez, the John Dodsons of the world, the Henry Cejudos, I believe they're all a little underrated, because people talk about how, oh, Demetrious Johnson hasn't beat any of the toughest competition. Well, I don't know. I think that whole division is underrated, which would mean Demetrious Johnson is. But the fact that, you know, it's hard to defend whenever somebody's offering to come to your weight class. It's a whole different story if people were calling you out saying, yeah, come up to my division, you know, come up to 135 pounds and I'll beat you up. That's a whole different story whenever you've got another champion talking about coming down to your weight class and you're still, you know, I don't want to say ducking, because it's hard to say Demetrious Johnson's ducking somebody being who he is, but that's really just what it's starting to look like. So it's hard to defend whenever this man and TJ Dillashaw, who now went and got the fucking belt from Cody Garbrandt, and that's one thing I forgot to talk about earlier. That's even worse for fucking DJ fucking Mighty Mouse. It's worse for him, because if you remember, before Cody Garbrandt and TJ Dillashaw fought, Demetrious Johnson was talking about, yeah, me and Cody Garbrandt have already talked, and, you know, if he's got to do his thing first, and then we'll probably be fighting. So you were going to fight fucking Cody Garbrandt, and now you're not going to fight TJ Dillashaw? Now you're talking about Sergio Pettis as the #1 contender, even though Sergio Pettis has a... What if Sergio Pettis loses to Henry Cejudo? Then are you going to fight the Henry Cejudo rematch because, you know, Sergio Pettis isn't the #1 contender anymore? I understand wanting to fight Sergio Pettis. He is a surging flyweight. He is on a 5-fight winning streak, and I understand wanting to let him know, hey, young man, you're one of the guys I haven't beat yet. But honestly, I do want to see Demetrious Johnson versus Sergio Pettis, honestly. Now, would I rather see TJ Dillashaw versus DJ? Fucking of course, champion versus champion. Let's get it going. I mean, but one of the things is that was asked of Demetrious Johnson is, you know, if TJ comes down, he's going to be fighting for your belt. You're not fighting for another belt. But that doesn't matter, because it would still give Demetrious Johnson legitimacy, the fact that he fought a guy that's on the pound for pound top 10, top 5. TJ Dillashaw, if he were to beat Demetrious Johnson, would jump to the #1 pound for pound, because he would have did it in 2 weight classes. And unlike George St. Pierre, he beat one of the best guys at the other weight class. If he beat Demetrious Johnson, he beat the kingpin of flyweight. Whenever George St. Pierre beat Michael Bisping, he did not beat the kingpin of middleweight. I'm sorry. Michael Bisping, you cannot say he was the kingpin of middleweight. The only top contender Michael Bisping beat at middleweight was Luke Rockhold. He beat Dan Henderson, but wasn't a top 10 guy. And then he lost to Rockhold. Now he lost to Gastelum. So you can't say Michael Bisping, and unless you're just trying to give GSP credit, you can't say Michael Bisping was the actual kingpin of middleweight, as you can say about Demetrious Johnson if TJ Dillashaw were able to dethrone him at a new division. So TJ Dillashaw would become the #1 pound for pound fighter on the planet if he was able to beat Demetrious, but it's looking like something's gonna happen. I don't even know if how much the fucking money the UFC would have to offer Demetrious, but I mean, I'm thinking that Henry Cejudo would have to lose, because Demetrious Johnson talks about, or Henry Cejudo would have to win. Demetrious Johnson talks about how the stars have to align for the TJ Dillashaw fight. It's got to be the right money at the right time. So maybe if the only other option was a Henry Cejudo rematch or TJ Dillashaw, and then they gave him the the money, he would do it. But if he has the option of TJ or Sergio, I got a feeling that he's going to take Sergio. And then maybe if TJ's still the champion, and then we can talk about, but come on, man, let's just make it happen. It's not going to happen probably till April, unless TJ Dillashaw, honestly, as soon as Demetrious Johnson opens up the doors, TJ's probably going to jump on the opportunity. Because if TJ's talking about waiting until April and stuff, he might miss out on the opportunity. But as of right now, it's sounding like it's going to take until fucking April for the UFC to convince Mighty Mouse to take this fight. With that being said, man, I can't wait to see the snake versus the mouse if it actually happens. I think that's just the whole funny thing in itself. TJ's the snake, this dude's the mouse. Come on, man. The fight sells itself. Champion versus champion. 125 versus 135. Demetrious Johnson's first real contender, some of you guys would say. I mean, come on. What else do I need to say? Nothing. It is what it is. Let the full-time family know what the fuck you tell me in the comments. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking D-O-double-G.